Robert Palmer from DID Chain. We're here today to demonstrate how to install a chain with a rivet-style connecting link using the DID KM500R tool. The KM500R is composed of the following parts: a U-shaped holder, tool body, bolt, plate holder, and a cutting and riveting pin. The cutting and riveting pins are sold separately in case you happen to break one. In addition to the KM500R, you will also need a 19mm wrench, a 27mm wrench, and 2 zip ties. We're going to start by cutting off the old chain. Position the U-shaped holder over the master link. Align the pin with the hole on the U-shaped holder. From the opposite side, you can see the pin inside the hole. Be sure to cut the pin on the right side of the link. Separate the riveting cutting pin from the tool body and position it with the cutting pin side up. Set the cutting pin location on the U-shaped holder to the point A position. Put the U-shaped holder over the chain and position the cutting pin over the pin head. Turn the bolt until the cutting pin contacts the pin head. Check the alignment to make sure the cutting pin is lined up with the center of the pin at a right angle. Slide a 27mm wrench on the tool body and a 19mm wrench on the bolt. At first, tighten the bolt slowly to avoid breaking the cutting pin. Tighten the bolt a few turns and check to make sure the pin is beginning to push out of the link. If all looks good, continue tightening the bolt and push out the pin. After pushing out the pin, disassemble the tool from the chain, but don't remove the old chain yet. Connect the new chain to the old chain with a zip tie. Shift the transmission into neutral and pull the old chain out slowly while replacing it with the new one. When the new chain wraps completely around the front sprocket, separate both chains. Position both ends of the new chain next to each other on the rear sprocket to adjust its length. If you don't need to adjust the wheelbase, cut off the extra links. It helps if you put a zip tie as a marker on the link that you need to cut. If you have an O-ring or X-ring chain, the parts included in the chain box are the pin link plate, an outer plate, 4 rubber O-rings or X-rings, and a packet of grease. Put a heavy coat of grease on the pins. You need to also put a heavy coat on the X-rings or O-rings, and then put a rubber ring on both pins. Now we can put the new chain together. Be sure to put enough of the grease into the holes where the bushings are. Connect both ends of the chain by sliding the pin link plate into the holes. And put the other 2 rubber rings on the exposed pins. Push the outer plate snugly onto the pins, and we're ready to use our KM500R tool to press the outer plate into position and rivet the pin heads. The next step is to move the connecting link to the bottom side of your swing arm. Line up the dimples on the U-shaped holder with the pin heads. Remove the riveting and cutting pin and position it with the riveting side up and put the plate holder on it. Now slide the U-shaped holder to point A and position the plate holder over the outer plate. Snug up the bolt by hand and then tighten it using the 27 and 19mm wrenches. This presses the outer plate into position to rivet the pin heads. You don't have to use strong force, just tighten the bolt until it stops. Check to see if the outer plate is straight by using the plate holder. Also check to make sure that the link is not stiff. The next step is to flare out the pin heads. We start by positioning the U-shaped holder. Set aside the plate holder and position the U-shaped holder on the B position. Turn the bolt until the riveting pin contacts the pin head. Also check to make sure that it's at a right angle. Tighten the bolt using the 27 and 19 millimeter wrenches. Again, you don't need a strong force. Turn the bolt until it stops. To check the flare of the pin heads, put the riveting pin on the pin head. If the riveting pin can make contact with the surface of the outer plate, riveting is completed. Now let's rivet the other pin in the same way. Put the U-shaped holder on the link as before. Make sure the riveting pin contacts the pin heads correctly, and then snug up the bolt. And as before, use the wrenches to rivet the pin head. When finished, check to make sure that the link is not stiff. When you're finished installing your new chain, we recommend that you check the sag of your chain. And if you need to make any adjustments, then you can make your rear wheel adjustments at that time to make the proper sag amount. Well, that concludes our video today, and we thank you for watching this and enjoy the ride.